So all of this, they tell me that the image of Africa is changing.
Absolutely.
Now you say about the art, the sports,
Absolutely.
and the business that are coming in. Even the media from the West that are coming in, they know the potential that Africa has and they want to utilize it. So we can see this as a positive thing. And plus your company, what it is doing is putting out the good news, the inspirational news about Africa. So all in all, you cannot be pessimistic about the future of the industry, with some potential.
I'm afraid it's not as simple as that, because if you take the very, that example of the media, it may very well happen, it may very well be that Africa is going to grow, Africa is going to do well, but somebody else is going to get the fruits,
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. I mean, Africa is doing better. I mean, literally, I don't want to appear like I'm upset about it, or but what I'm about to say, it's just the truth. It's just the truth. The very same media, the very same international media, we spend the last 15 years, or at least from I don't know, the 90s to the 2010 or something, right? Which spends so much years and time to depict, to picture, to showcase or to convey that image of Africa as hopeless continent, etc., etc. Those very the same, are now that the bride is sexier and appealing, etc. The very same are coming, and they're gonna steal the fruit. I mean, I'm not saying. I'm saying it's already there. I mean, honestly, it's already there. Frankly, it's already there.
Rather an African grabs the fruit rather than an outsider coming in and.
Well, and it's not only by patriotism or whatever, etc. It's just that, again, as we discussed, we are talking about the African media landscape, and the African media landscape is, look, if suddenly all the bakers, African bakers are out of job because there is one brand coming from the US which provide a bread to everybody cheaper and better, etc. Okay, fine. But when the media landscape is impacted, it's another story.
Yeah.
The impact is way different.
Yeah.
When the media houses are weak, how do you want them to play the full extent of their role? How do you want it to?
It's like you said. It's about, when it comes to media, it's about identity. It's about sovereignty of your continent, your nation. You are selling that.
You need strong media. You need independent media. You need strong media, for sure. It will have a huge impact. It will have a huge impact. I mean.
Okay, let's move on to the future prospects of APO.
Yeah, sure.
What do you plan to do? And
well, we discussed about APO. You asked me a little bit earlier about how APO started, but APO today is completely different company. So APO Group today in 2019 is a company with three departments, three divisions, if you want. We have APO Communication, which is dealing with public relation, media relation, influence, and which is, of course, the home of the press release distribution service. That's where it's operate. So APO Communication is the leading Pan-African communication consultancy, and it's important. Each of the words here are important. We are the only company in our field which is operating on a Pan-African scale, meaning we are able to deliver in all 54 countries of the continent, including Eritrea, including Somaliland. For some of our clients, we are working in such a country which are, complex country to work with. So we are not like those companies which are only able to operate in South Africa and Kenya or whatever. We are really able to operate in each 54 country of the continent, and that's come from how we started at the beginning. because we started as a press release distribution service, we from the beginning we invested a lot of time and energy and money on creating a huge database of journalists. And you can be the best PR practitioner to pitch an interview or to organize a press conference or whatever. If you don't have the contact, you are useless. You cannot do anything. You can be a very good practitioner in Ethiopia. You can be the king at organizing press conference or whatever. But if tomorrow I'm asking you to organize a press conference in I don't know, Eritrea, then you are useless. You don't have the contact. We do have all the contacts. That's why we are Pan-African. And so we are doing public relation, media relation, etc. So that's for APO communication. So the communication is basically production, distribution, and monitoring of content. And we have APO technologies, which is providing technology, so software solutions to corporation across Africa. We are talking about mainly digital transformation. And we have APO consulting, which we call APO Consult, which is providing also to corporation consulting services ranging from identify the right jurisdiction or the right structuration, or helping them building a business plan, or explaining them expanding in another country, or helping them hiring the right people, or etc. So so I'm the chairman, I'm the founder, and I'm the chairman of the company. I'm the owner of the company. I own 100% of the company. But we have a CEO. Name is Lionel Reyna, which has been appointed, I think, 10 months ago, which is a former, and that's also quite unusual for a company like ours, because it's usually, and I'm referring to the communication department, usually when it's come to communication, the CEO will, if you look at most of the PR agencies, the CEO will come from the industry. It will be an account director or whatever. He will have a background in the industry. Our CEO, Lionel Reyna, is a former CEO for Eastern Europe, Africa, and the Middle East of Orange Business Service, which is the B2B division, the enterprise division, business division of Orange, the French telecom company. He was also, so he was overseeing 80 countries for, I don't know, 12 years, I think. And he was also director for the Middle East at Accenture, which is the leading consulting company, leading globally. So as I was explaining earlier, a company is very much about, I mean, at least our company is not really about the number of trucks or the number of factories or the number of cars. It's really about the talents and the people, the talent of the people. So the company is doing very well. We doubled our turnover in the last 2 years. I'm referring to 2017, 2018. This year, so last year we did 60% growth. 2019 we are forecasting a growth of 40%, and the plan, we are engaged in a 5-year plan, which is going to end of 2023, and the aim is to maintain a 40% growth until the end of 2023. And our objective is to reinforce our position, and with our 300 clients doing more and more business, and to establish ourselves as the leading consulting firm to help corporate, not only international corporation investing in Africa, having presence in Africa, but also African corporations. So that's very much the idea. Yeah.
So by employing your CEO, you stepping down when the company is successful, you handing over the CEO to another businessman who is experienced in business. Yes. Is that to focus more on the business side rather than the...
As we said, I was a journalist. I studied law, actually. Mm-hmm. And I didn't started that activity to be a business. Mm-hmm. It's just that you need to be very careful when you're a founder of a company, because at some point you can become very easily, very fast. It's an easy mistake to make, very easy mistake to make. You can become the first the most important roadblock to the development of your own company, because you don't have the skills. So I take that. When I stepped down as a CEO, I took that example to explain to my staff, to my team. I said, listen, I definitely build a Ferrari. I build a tool which is meant to go very, very fast, as fast as 300 kilometers per hour. I did that. I built it for sure, but that doesn't mean I'm the right pilot to drive it to 300. Maybe I will be able to drive it to 120 only.
That's the problem that most businessmen do. You know, when they start up as entrepreneurs, they think they can get it all the way.
You need to. I read a very interesting study about that, and the guy it's a study from an academic in the U.S., and it's really the Bible for me in that matter. And it says, well, basically, you need to choose. Either you choose between either you get rich, or you get to be the king. So you choose power or money. You know. I mean, you know, you want because most of them they stay for power. They stay because I created that. It's my baby. I want to stay in charge. I know, etc. And next thing you know, you never realize the potential of your company because, well, you know. And so I'll tell you that stepping down as the chairman, both stepping down as the chairman and hiring that person, Lionel Reyna, which I just mentioned, which was a client of APO. Was definitely the best decision I made in years, by far. And me, well, it's allowed me to focus on other things I wanted to do for a long time. For instance, everywhere I go, give conferences to journalists and PR students. We launch an initiative called APO Pioneers, where we're going to make the announcement in a few weeks. So we are creating a pilot with the Makerere University in Uganda, which is going to provide 30. We're going to provide internship, 1 year internship to 30 students, PR and journalism students, and it's a model we have created with Makerere University. Which we can upscale, so it's a pilot. If it's working, we're going to expand. The next country in line is Zambia. I'm also focusing on Rugby Africa. You know that we are the main official sponsor of World Rugby African Association, Rugby Africa, and I'm also involved in in the management of a few accounts which are important for us, specifically the NBA and Naomi Campbell, which is one of our clients. And the rest of the time, I'm trying to, support my team in any way I can. But I try to, I try to withdraw as much as possible step back from operation. I think I did a good job in that regard. And I'm lucky enough to have a CEO which is taking care now is taking care of the operations and which is very good at what he's doing.
That's good. Well, you have done a number of things, and like you said, stepping down when you can and giving it to somebody who's more capable, who you think will take the business further out is one of the best decisions that you have made so far, like you said. But I think one of the best decisions that you made is investing the £10,000 that you saved in creating APO, So that's, in my opinion, the first start in entrepreneurship.
I totally understand why you could say that and think that. But keep in mind that it wasn't me launching a business. So there is that. And I will tell you that if there is, as an entrepreneur, or businessman, or what you want to call that, if there is one thing I'm very, maybe proud is not the proper wording, but one thing which is very significant is that after 12 years, I still own 100% of my company. And you won't find a lot of cases like this. What that means is my company has zero debt. We have no shareholder. We are not accountable to anybody. That also means that company during the last 12 years developed organically on our own fundings.
Constant growth.
Yeah, on our own fundings. So we never had to take a loan or go to a bank or ask for an investor to come and inject money or whatever. So I think that is as an entrepreneur, I'm proud about that because when I see and I don't know if that's the case here in Ethiopia, but in the global economy, you have when I see those so-called winner of the economy and et cetera, and basically when you look at it, what they do is they are on the base of one idea. They are raising. So we just raised 50 million, and actually we are pretty sure the company will break even, will be profitable in 5 years. It's to me. I mean, I feel like I did it the proper way, the hard way, but the proper way. Nobody came to me and said, "Here's 10 million, and you have 5 years to actually make money." I take my 10K. I worked hard. I didn't ask money to anybody. But at the end of the day, I own 100% of my company. And in the hierarchy of the things I'm proud of is obviously the fact that I have 300 companies which trust us, which are trusting the quality of our service, etc., etc. We have a retention rate which is out of the roof. I mean, all the clients when they try us, they stay with us all the time. So I'm very proud. I'm very proud about that company and the fact that we deliver, really deliver. The company is growing, but I still feel in my bone that I'm accountable to my clients. I feel that it's my name which is on the line. I feel that it's very important for me to deliver, to make sure we are offering the best return on investment to my clients. And when I have a client telling me, okay, well, that's great, I'm happy, etc., I'm the happiest man in the world. And it just happened that for some reason it's not a. But the culture I impregnated into the company make that everybody's happy. All our clients are happy. They are coming back. They are signing. They want more. And what we are doing right now is we are acquiring a few new clients. This year we're going to have Canon, for instance, the camera. We are their PR agency for Africa. We have the NBA, for instance. And we're going to manage the PR for the Basketball Africa League because they just launched the first league outside of the US in Africa. We have Naomi Campbell, etc. But you see, the number of new clients this year will be very small, maybe 10. But what we really want to do is to grow with our current portfolio of clients. We want to become their advisor, their trusted advisor. The number of clients where which we started working with them with a press release distribution, for instance. They came to us and say, "Oh, I have a press release to distribute." And a few years after, we are advising them on their business development, on expansion in another country. We are advising them in their digital transformation. We are taking care of not only their press release, but to position their CEO as thought leader. We are making sure their CEO is a speaker at that very prominent event. We are putting them on CNN, etc., etc., etc. We are auditing their communication strategy. We are helping them build their communication strategy. So that's really where we're heading. That's really where the potential is, and we really like it. We want to work with people which see the value of what we are offering, and we are not really searching to have more and more and more and more and more clients. We don't want to do in volume. We want to have a select number of clients and grow with those clients. And we are lucky enough to have very prominent clients, from Facebook to General Electric to DHL to Canon, the NBA, etc., etc.
Mr. Nicolas, that was very insightful, and sorry to say we are almost running out of time, but I really appreciate the insight that you have given us on African media landscape and how it's growing and the kind of impact that you are creating in the African and world perception of Africa. And as I see it, it is the only native African news dispatcher, news disseminator. So it's really something that we can all look up to, and all Africans as journalists, as myself, we have to look up to you and try to go with the kind of idea that we are trying to create, because we all want a positive image of Africa in the world media. And the way to do that is not to expect others to do it for us, but for us to step up and contribute our part. You know, what are we reporting? The kind of good things that are happening in Africa. It's we Africans that will have to report, instead of putting out negative things and fighting with each other, that kind of thing. So all of us have a responsibility in this journalistic endeavor, that we have to put African views, African investment opportunities, the best cultures, the best norms that we have to the outside world, so the outside world can come and invest and see it for themselves. Even as tourists, they can come and see us.
Absolutely.
So, Mr. Nicolas Pomigne, thank you very much for coming here, taking your time and explaining it to us about the African media landscape. And we wish you all the best in the future, and we'll be your partners.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
That's all we have for you in this edition of African View. Till next time.